What's up, guys? Back with another video. For today's topic, I wanted to talk about the most optimal way to lose body fat. This video is targeted for a fatter audience, a more obese audience. So most of you know that I've always said I don't do bulking and cutting, and I don't support bulking or cutting. So I'm gonna explain and kind of walk you through the specifics of what I mean by that and how I think it could be beneficial for someone in this case who wants to cut or lose body fat specifically, right? Because we don't necessarily want to lose weight overall. We just want to lose body fat. We don't want to lose all our muscle. There's a lot of people that are addicted to processed foods, mac and cheese, burgers, fast food, candy, cookies, brownies, stuff like that. And a lot of people are addicted to these things and think, I want to start eating better. I want to lose some body fat. And they think the way to go into that is to do a calorie cut. And honestly, this is just not the most optimal way to think about it, because if you go into a cutting phase, especially like an acute cutting phase, something over like long term is a little different, something that you've planned a little more sustainably for. But if you're thinking, I want to get shredded for the summer, a few months out, quick cutting phase, if you're still addicted to processed foods, you're going to go through that cut and you're still going to be at the set point where you were. Because you really like processed foods and you're used to eating processed foods. The only difference you made is a calorie reduction, and maybe you slightly improved what you were eating, but maybe you still were doing 80-20 in order to keep up this caloric deficit. The issue with that is when you're done with your cut, you're gonna up the calories again, just back to your maintenance. And you're gonna think, I only have to maintain this physique. So you're gonna up your calories back to maintenance. But in reality, what's going to happen is you're going to start reincorporating more of those processed foods that you were already eating before, this time at a greater level, because now you're back to maintenance, you're happy with your physique, you're not cutting anymore. And this is never the right move, right? Because if you go right back to eating processed foods again, you're gonna get fat again, and you're gonna have to do this phase where you get fatter and then you have to lose fat. This is exactly the bulk and cut cycle that I am opposed. This is what a lot of fitness influencers kind of end up doing online. And I will say, if you're an unnatural athlete, it's different. Maybe you can get away with eating shittier foods and like bulking and cutting in this cycle. But if you're a natural athlete, if you're a natural lifter, like you're not enhanced in any way, you're gonna see a lot of decline based off 80-20, to be honest. So the actual correct way to go about it, the more optimal way, I would say, is in the beginning of your fat loss stage where you want to cut fat, I would say don't restrict. Instead of restricting, just follow an optimal diet. So instead of, restricting carb, restricting fat, upping protein, whatever it is you're doing, focus more on eating an optimal diet. So eating whole foods, you're still eating the carbs that you want to eat, fruit, homemade sourdough, raw honey, potatoes, all this stuff. Don't start restricting your carbs and fats right away. Just start eating cleaner, and don't go straight into a calorie deficit and a clean diet. Just focus first on eating cleaner. When you do this, you're gonna create a new nutritional pattern of eating for yourself. You wanna get used to eating these nutrient-dense foods, these clean, whole foods on a regular basis. Clean up your diet at maintenance, create that new set point. From there, then, if you still have more fat you wanna lose, after you've been eating at maintenance, these clean foods, and you've kind of reset your taste pathways, then you can go into your calorie cut. I would recommend cutting down once to your optimal body weight, and then from there continue to incorporate these clean foods, these whole foods that you've been eating at maintenance or slightly above maintenance for a lean bulk if you want to build more muscle. And the thing is, guys, like when you switch from eating processed foods to more natural foods, even without restricting calories, like still trying to eat at maintenance, but you're eating an optimal diet, you are probably going to lose body fat, even without having to necessarily restrict calories. Now, if you're eating exactly the same amount of calories at maintenance and exactly the same amount of calories of processed foods, you're not necessarily going to drop body weight. But what will happen is you will do what's called body recomposition. So you'll maintain the same weight, but over time, you'll be losing fat and gaining muscle simply from leaning up your diet a little bit. And you know, guys, I think a lot of diet culture these days and like nutrition culture, especially from what I see online, is like, it's either, oh, your diet has to be, you know, super unenjoyable. You have to eat it like super 100% clean and track all your calories. Or it's, you know, like this doesn't have to be bad, but, you know, 80-20, like still eat processed foods and eat your optimal diet. Like it doesn't have to suck. And honestly, I think both of these approaches are bad, because with one, you know, that's just crash dieting. If you're not enjoying your diet, you're just gonna go right back to where you were. And on the other hand, if you're still if you're aiming for 80-20, this is the thing, guys. If you're aiming for 80-20, you're already planning 20% failure. This is the issue that I have with it that maybe I don't get across very well online. But my issue with 80-20 is you're already allotting for 20% failure. Guys, if I ever stray from, I have my fruit bowl right now. Okay, this is my dessert. I just ate a phenomenal seafood dinner that, you know, it was pretty good. But the point is, whenever I stray from my diet, like if I ever eat, you know, foods that aren't completely clean, it is 100% spontaneous. You know, I'll be on a drive with my girlfriend and we'll be like, or she'll be like, oh, like I really want a sweet treat. And I'm like, you know, you want to go get ice cream? And we'll go to like an ice cream shop that has, you know, I still try to make sure it has premium ingredients, like real sugar, no like corn syrup, no fake stuff, no like Dairy Queen, you know, go to a real ice cream parlor, those good healthy cream fats. But that's the thing, guys, it's spontaneous, you know. I pick her up from somewhere and I'm like, hey, do you want to go out to eat tonight? Like, do you want to go on a date? And she says, yes. Like, we've decided that in the moment. I'm not planning ahead of time. Like when I start Monday, like, oh, I'll have this cheat meal on Wednesday and I want this snack, so I'll eat that on Tuesday. Like, no, like whenever I cheat, it's very spontaneous. Going back to what I was talking about, you know, clean cut diet culture that's restrictive versus, you know, flexible dieting. The issue is that ultimately you're not training yourself to eat an optimal diet. And the thing is, the optimal diet is not unenjoyable to eat. It's something that you can do long term. It's something I've done for I think a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years now, is like just eating whole foods. Like I'm eating beef, I'm eating eggs, I'm eating fruits, like I eat carrots or potatoes, you know, whenever I want. Some raw honey, you know, bone broth, like all these things are just whole animal foods. And you don't have to restrict yourself when you're eating these whole foods. You can just enjoy them because they're so nutritious. They're what your body needs. Because when you restrict yourself and you say, oh, I'm only gonna eat chicken and rice and broccoli twice a day and then egg whites in the morning every single day, do you know how many nutrients you're missing out on? Like you're only eating chicken, broccoli, rice, and egg whites. Like you're missing out on so many key nutrients, so many important foods, vitamins, and like healthy fats that you're just not getting. And it makes this dieting unsustainable because your body can't keep running on just like a slight concentrated form of nutrition. Like you're missing variety. You know, ancient humans didn't grow up just eating chicken, broccoli, rice. Like we foraged, we ate a variety of animals, we ate a variety of plants. And that's kind of what you need to mirror when you do an optimal diet. And guys, honestly, this is not unenjoyable. Like I fully enjoy when I'm eating well because I don't have cravings because I get all my nutrition and all my micronutrients. I'm not just worried about the macros. And this is the thing too that you have to think about if you're coming into this obese or fatter. Like, you, odds are, were eating a diet consisting mostly of processed foods, not so optimal foods, and you likely have some sort of nutrient deficiency. So when you start eating the optimal diet, you know, it's not just about, like, you have all this energy on your body that's fat, yeah, but you likely are not getting the right micronutrients. You're not going to have proper energy. So when you go into a calorie cut, when you go and restrict, you're lowering, you know, the energy that you have by like intaking less calories. And so you're already getting less energy from the calories you're eating, but the fat you have stored up, it's probably not optimal. You know, like I said, you're probably having a lot of nutrient deficiencies because it's not like you were eating, you know, steak, beef, or, you know, steak, eggs, fruits, and you just were eating too much of that. No, you probably ate a lot of garbage, and now you have all this fat stored up and a micronutrient deficiency. So when you're burning fat, you're getting rid of your energy, and then your diet, your crash diet, is also not gonna supply you with any more energy. So it just leads into this downward spiral where you're gonna wanna break your diet because you have no energy. And the beautiful thing about the optimal diet is it's a way to preserve your metabolism, preserve your hormone production, preserve your energy while still being able to burn fat. This is why I think going straight into a calorie cut, into a fat loss phase, is the mistake. I really think a lot of people, if not everybody that wants to lose fat, needs to start by simply making the switch of the foods they're eating without immediately restricting calories, and then going from there. And after that, if you want to go into a fat loss phase and calorie cut, then you can. And the reason this sets you up better is this time, you know, you still got the weight and you still got the fat, but this time when you go into your calorie cut, you're going to have more energy. You're going to go in with the micronutrition that your body needs to maintain your hormones and maintain your metabolism. And this second time around, you're going to crush it because your body is physically, metabolically, and nutritionally more prepared to handle something like a calorie cut. This also moves your set point, and so when you finish your calorie cut, this sets you up really well in the future for not falling back into this cycle of, oh, well, now I'm gonna up maintenance and now I'm gonna eat processed foods. Like, no, you're gonna up maintenance and you're still gonna be following your optimal diet. So this sets you up really well also for not, you know, relapsing back into obesity per se, because you've gotten your body and your palate adjusted to what it needs to expect. And this is hard at first, guys. Like, I also used to have this issue with processed foods where I was addicted to them. You know, I would eat like 36 crab rangoons and then eat clean, like 100% clean for like 6 days, and then binge 36 more crab rangoons. You know, like it was a process to get out of this. But if you can, honestly, it's kind of like with sugar. Like, if you want to cut out sugar, if you can go 1 to 2 weeks, no cheating, no processed foods, this will allow your body and your taste receptors to reset a little bit. You know, you stop eating candy, you only eat fruit, and then the fruit tastes sweet again. You know, you're resetting these systems in your body that are craving these processed foods. Another factor that I never really see 99% of people in the fitness space talk about is when you have a large amount of body fat and you go through the process of, you know, burning fat, like a fat loss phase, you are going to be mobilizing a lot of toxins in your body by doing that. Humans store toxins in their body fat. So odds are, you know, if you're obese, if you're fatter, you've likely been accumulating these over the years in your fat. And so in this case, it becomes even more important to have these micronutrition stores built up. Make sure you're lifting, make sure you're doing cardio on top of it, sauna if you can, to help help your body flush these toxins out. And then, as I always say, at that point, once you get to your desired weight, your desired body fat percentage, even if it's just your desired weight, stop your calorie cut once you get to your desired weight. And then from there, go back to maintenance and do that body recomp that I was talking about if you want to, you know, gain muscle, lose fat, but you are happy with your body weight that you're at. So you've gotten to a normal weight, you've cut all the fat, you're at a normal weight now. Don't start doing this bulk and cut that, you know, unnatural influencers do on the internet. Go with a like lean maintenance, maybe like 100 over maintenance or right at maintenance, and just be consistent in the gym. Make sure you're getting, make sure you're hitting all your nutrition goals, you're getting all your micronutrients in. And guys, this will be like a transformative experience for you if you have the right workout program, if you're doing an optimal diet where you aren't restricting so much as you are eating for energy, eating for fuel. I think not even just in the gym space, a lot of people today, they do the wrong thing. And I think a lot of seed oil defenders do this too. People that drink energy drinks, people that eat sugar-free anything, stuff like this. I see a lot of people argue, well, it's not that bad for you for XYZ reasons. Like XYZ never said it was bad for you. But you need to start thinking about things in terms of what good is this doing for me? So not just, oh, you know, that's a sugar-free energy drink, like 0-calorie energy drink. What are you putting in your body? Like, go and read the ingredients. If you just want caffeine, drink some black coffee. Like, it's not toxic like energy drinks are over time. And same with like seed oils, guys. It's like, oh, well, there's no like direct link showing that seed oils are bad for you. What good are they? You know what I mean? When I eat something like butter, when I cook in butter, I know I'm doing that for a good reason. It's a healthy animal fat, and I'm getting my cholesterol up for my building blocks for my hormones. When you eat seed oils or you drink these energy drinks or anything that you look at a label and you're like, oh, it's not that bad because of this, don't just take into account the absence of a negative. Look for the presence of a positive. You know what I mean? That's why I just don't see the appeal of any of these protein products that influencers promote, because what good is that putting in your body? Like, oh my gosh, it's 1 gram of sugar. Overall, I think just basically a lot of people need to have a lot less mentality of, oh, it's not that bad for me, and more of a mentality of, okay, it's not that bad, but now what good is it doing? Is it doing any active good in the body? And yeah, guys, that's my spiel. I got a little off topic, but yeah, this is, I would say, the optimal way to burn fat if you're overweight. If you're underweight, if you guys would be interested in that. That was more my path. I didn't really start overweight, I started underweight. So maybe I'll make more follow-up videos about that. And yeah, guys, that's it. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. See you guys.